This is the Leo Climaco Podcast.
Do you know the last one that hit Pompano?
Like a direct, we haven't had a direct hit.
Yeah.
No. So I mean, the last one that had any, I think, serious issues was Irma, and I remember this because my 7-year-old, I was scheduled to have a C-section the day that Irma was supposed to hit.
Wow.
So I had her a couple days early, brought her home, ended up without power for over a week.
Wow.
We had trees down, fences down. So that one did some damage to our area, but it wasn't a direct hit at all. So even that resulted in quite a bit of damage.
I know that you just won re-election, and I know that you are very focused on your role.
Mm-hmm.
But do you aspire for any other political roles?
I don't spend a lot of time thinking about that. I spend a lot of time doing the job I'm doing.
I love that answer.
I'm in this role for 2 more years, and that's what I'm focused on. I really like local issues.
Yeah.
And I have a young family. I don't want to go anywhere. So
Right.
for me, it's all local and about my community and my city and doing the best we can for Pompano, and that's my focus right now.
I love that. Are there any other plans for events like the drone show being set up in Pompano? Things like that?
I don't know of any other events of that scale. We do a lot in Pompano.
We do so
Any
much.
given
yeah.
night, there's multiple things going on in different
yeah.
areas of the city. So we have the amphitheater. We can have an amp show going on. We have Untapped, which has been going on for, I don't know, probably almost a decade now, in the Old Town area on the first Fridays of the month. And we're coming up on the holiday season. Mm-hmm. So we are going to have so many events. We have our Yuletide parade.
Yes.
Do you go to that?
Yes.
Yuletide's awesome.
It's so awesome.
Yeah. We have tree lightings. We have breakfast with Santa. We have the Pompano boat parade.
I love the boat parade.
Are you
It's
in it?
so
Have you ever
cool.
been in it?
I do not. I've never been. I've
Let's do a
only
boat.
watched it from afar.
We gotta find a boat.
Yes, let's do it. Let's find a boat. I would love to.
One of these years.
Yes.
But it's fun,
That's very
right?
cool. Yeah, it's so much fun.
So there's a lot
so creative.
going on.
Yes.
And that's just in this part of our city. And we have areas in the Northwest community and Palmer, and they have different events that they go to, music nights, things like that. So there's check the calendar, because they're not as big as a drone show, but there is a lot going on. There's a breakfast with Santa. Bring the kids.
Really? Where?
Emma Lou Olson, the Civic Center.
Okay.
I don't remember the date, but look into that. I think you buy tickets. It's inexpensive, but you get to meet Santa.
Very cool. I want to ask you a personal question, because I feel your energy. I can see how driven you are. I can see how in service you are. So I just want to know, what is your relationship with God?
So I went to 12 years of Catholic school. Actually, 11. In 2nd grade, I went to public school. So 11 years of Catholic school. And, I would say I pray. I talk to God. But it's, like I said, I love my father, and there's a lot of that, thoughts.
Yeah.
Like you go through different phases of your
Yes.
life too,
Right.
of what you believe and what you struggle with,
Right.
and where you're at. So
Yeah.
I do think that where I've been at in recent years is a much more spiritual place, where I stop and I have those, I'm not just on autopilot going through life,
Right.
you have those reflective
You enjoy
moments.
the moment.
Yeah, and those I have so much gratitude for where I'm at in life, and that's the people around me. It is that relationship of that spirituality. All of that
Yeah.
gives you that peace, and that those moments where you just feel so full that you have, and that's what allows me to give to people. So you have to make sure that you have that inside, so that you can give. Because when you're empty, you cannot give. I think we've all probably been there in life and tried that,
Yep.
and it doesn't work that well.
Your cup's got to be full.
You have to find a way.
Yeah.
So if it's not, then you got to work on that in order to get yourself in a place. So, but for me, I am so grateful for my family, my friends, my community, my relationship with, with God, all of that. So,
What is your favorite part about being a mom?
my favorite part about being a mom. For me, it's the companionship and the quiet moments, there's a lot that's kids are a lot, right?
Those little hugs.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. Like the snuggles when they crawl into bed in the
Yes.
morning and they just
Yep.
want to lay there,
Yep.
especially because mine are old and they're going, there's sports and they want to be with their friends and they're in the pool and what are we doing? What are we doing? There's this constant, I'm bored, I want something to do.
Yes.
So for me, it's the quiet moments when my daughter, we're sitting on the couch and she reads me a book, or they crawl into bed and snuggle and just hang out with you. That is, I know those are fleeting moments too. You only get so much of that.
Yes.
So I try to really enjoy those for as long as it's going to last. Because 7 and 9.
You have to, yes. Those teen years are coming.
I've seen it. I have a niece who's 18. I don't know how she got to be 18. Like time just flies.
Just flies.
She's a senior in high school, and my sister has 2 kids who are slightly older. So like 11, 13. So I can see the trajectory and how quickly they become teenagers and on their own, and they have different needs then. So I still have that sweet spot with mine where they like snuggling with mom. So that's my favorite part of it.
I agree.
Enjoy that while it lasts.
Yes. I think my favorite part is just coming home, opening the door, and hearing, Daddy! Them running to me and giving me a hug. It's just, nothing beats that.
Yeah, nothing. The campaign has been a grind, so I am so happy now to be able to spend. And they don't really want that much to do with it. It's boring to them.
Of 100%.
So I am so relieved to be able to spend more time with them and on their interests and needs. But it's a sacrifice. It's a huge sacrifice.
Oh, yeah. Huge.
It is.
Right? Because you are sharing your time and energy.
Yeah.
You are serving a whole community.
Yeah. Well, and you can do that when it's the job.
Right.
But when you layer on top of that a campaign and you're someone like me who's only knows one way to do things and that's all the way, then you really, there's nothing left of your time. You could spend 100% of your time on that. So
let's go into that real quick. I'm just curious. What's the amount of money that's required to run a local campaign?
It's a good question. I think it varies dramatically, city by city, and based on the opponent and the type of race that you have.
Right.
So, and there's campaign funds that as a candidate you fundraise, but there's other PACs and other special interest groups that can spend or support your opponent and spend a lot of money. So so you may have to combat these other forces, and I find myself often having to combat all kinds of forces, not just candidate funds.
Right.
So the last time I ran, I took out an incumbent, and he was extremely well capitalized and had multiple PACs and special interest groups backing him.
Wow.
And so we did it with a lot less money than he did, a lot less money.
That's incredible.
Yeah.